He's going the distance, he's going for speed, and he's going for a national championship. Jayden Davis may just be the fastest man in Arizona. He owns state high school records, just broke ASU's 58-year-old record in the 400 meters, and has a slew of All American and All Conference honors on his resume. Next month, the Valley product is looking to add national championship to his list of accomplishments at the NCAAs. On this episode, Jade and I discuss the mental side of sprinting, repping his hometown, the impact of the Rocky movies, elevating Sun Devil track and field, and so much more. So let's get to it. Here's my conversation with Jayden Davis. All right, Jayden. So you have so many records at this point, a long list of honors. Am I talking to the fastest man in Arizona right now?
Of course. Yeah, I thought I was the fastest man in Arizona since I was in high school. So I'm glad the record's finally showing it.
So, of course, you recently breaking Ron Freeman's 58-year-old program record. How did it feel to break something that, for decades and decades was untouched?
Yeah, it's something that I didn't even think about like coming into ASU. I just wanted to be a great athlete. And so I was running faster and faster and realized that I actually like had a chance to get close to that record. And then Mount Sac, I pretty much knew like I was gonna run something like super fast. So it was like a great experience and like I just felt so proud, especially since I love ASU. I'm like, wow, like that was a tough record to beat. So I was so blessed and so glad.
Was there a moment in that run that you realized like this could be the moment, or like that this one maybe felt a cut above the others, that you had a chance to break the record?
Honestly, I felt it from the start. Like I felt my drive phase in that first 100 was like really good, and I felt good the whole way up to Mount Sac, the whole warm up. So I knew even before I got into the blocks, I had a chance to run my best time.
In addition to breaking the ASU program record, I believe it's the world leading mark currently this year for the 400. How does it know that you got planet Earth on lock as well as ASU?
Yeah, no, it was for a minute. I think like three people have gotten to it right now.
Hmm.
So it was world lead for a minute, and I definitely celebrated, and I definitely got my flowers for it. But a week after that, I kind of had to forget about it and just get right back to training. So that was really the mindset after.
How does it feel? Just the kind of the affirmation, just be in that class to know that your speed is literally world class.
Yeah, yeah. I pray to God every day, and I just thank Him for giving me that talent and for finally the world to see it. Because for a long time, I knew that I had the chance to be one of the greatest, but I felt like it wasn't getting showcased and I wasn't kind of getting the credit that I thought I deserved. So I just kind of just kept putting my head down and kept working and working, and then all of a sudden one run changed all that. So I just give glory to God every single day, every single night.
So of course, a local product, and you was astounded at Mountain Point. How much was staying in the valley a factor in deciding to run for ASU?
It was a big factor. I think that's why I really enjoyed my visit on ASU because my parents' house is like 30 minutes away. So I think it's so important to have a community and a support system, especially track and field, because lots of times you can feel alone. So having my parents, having my old high school, and having my friends still, you know, all within a distance, I think really has helped me throughout the hard times of track.
It kind of leads into my perfectly next question. How much of a support and a boost to your career here as a Sun Devil has it been to just be a part, be at home and also representing your hometown?
I think it made my career basically. If it wasn't for my parents, my friends, high school coaches, I don't think I'd be where I was today because they've gotten me through so many humps and they've been supporting me even when I was down, and now they're supporting me while I'm up. So without them, there wouldn't be a Jayden Davis.
How much has Coach Dion Miller really helped shape your career and the trajectory you're currently on?
Yeah, he's been there and what since high school. I give him all the credit, with the workouts and kind of our communication. So I definitely thank Coach Miller for getting me to where I'm at because, of course, without him, I wouldn't be where I was at. So I think we just have a really good bond and really good connection that's kind of has gotten me also through the humps.
What is the training regimen like for a world class sprinter like yourself?
Man, it's fast paced things, a lot of race pace, a lot of kind of like visualizing and race execution. So when I get into a meet, it's not a surprise when I gotta run my phases of the race uh, in a fast, efficient time. So we go through it at practice. So when I get into a meet, I'm able to execute parts of my race perfectly.
So for those watching the YouTube broadcast here, there's a Rocky poster on your wall. Of course, the ultimate
Yeah.
underdog triumph story. You mentioned, kind of earlier in your career, maybe not getting the respect, but maybe perhaps breaking through with the school record attempt. Is there any kind of parallels there with maybe training like Rocky, or having that chip on the shoulder that's been a key to your success?
Yeah, Rocky's like my favorite movie of all time. So I feel like I could definitely relate to where Rocky was. And everyone loves a good understory. And I felt like ever since high school, I've been an underdog and I've been trying to prove myself. So just like Rocky, he got the opportunity and then he took it and ran with it. So I feel like that's exactly what I've been doing. So I'm just trying to keep grinding, keep putting my head down.
While on the subject, I recently had this kind of got this tangent with ASU defensive coordinator Brian Ward. What are your top three Rocky movies?
Man, definitely definitely the original Rocky's number one. It's a classic. And then I personally like the Rocky 3. I think that
Yep.
one is really good. And then I count the Creed movies
Yeah,
as
of
a part of
course. Yeah.
Rocky. Yeah, and I love Creed, what, 1 through 3. So I honestly can't pick between any of them. So I love all the Creeds as well.
Good choices. Yeah, like one and three are my personal favorites. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the creeds are also awesome as well. So as we mentioned off the top, so many records at this point, so many titles, all American as well. Which are some of the most meaningful to you in your career? Obviously, still early in your career, but you have so many. Like, what are the ones kind of you're most proud of at this point?
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of my first of all my high school state record. I think that's kind of where it all started. And if it wasn't for my older brother Isaac, who was also chasing that record, I don't think I would have cared as much. But seeing him kind of like train and work for it kind of like inspired me as well. So I give him all the credit for that. So that was kind of where it all started. So that one means like a whole lot to me. And then honestly, this outdoor record that I just got, that's something that almost seemed like a completely different world. So once I kind of got that, like I kind of like realized that I have an opportunity to take this career more than just collegiate. That if I keep on this path that I'm on, that I'm able to go pro and have a career in track and field.
You mentioned Isaac, and of course, you're coming from a track family. Your parents both track stars in their own rights. Going back to the start, was it your family, your parents that got you into track, or was that something that maybe they didn't push you towards, and maybe you came to on your own?
Yeah, they never pushed me towards track and field. They rarely even talked about it when I was growing up because they wanted me to be able to make my own decisions and kind of career path. So I started off playing football, and that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to play college football, and then uh, Isaac, my brother, obviously, I started training with him. And my freshman year of high school, he was a senior, so I got to be on the same team as him. And that's kind of where the gears started falling in place. I kind of wanted to follow after him, and then that's when I realized that I was really good at track and field. So I kind of wanted to continue that path. So they've been nothing but supportive, and I'm honestly so glad that they didn't push me towards doing track and field at a young age because I feel like I appreciate it so much more now. Kind of like having like my self discovery.
You mentioned playing some football growing up. So other sports, or when you were younger, or other than football, obviously with that speed, you're probably really good at a lot of things.
Yeah, I played everything growing up. I played basketball, I played football. For a very, very short period of my time, I played a little bit of tennis.
Oh,
That was
okay.
probably like a month. But I loved doing anything sports related. My mom was a PE teacher, so when I was young, I would join her PE classes, and then we'd play all a bunch of different sports. So that's probably where my love of sports came from.
So I believe that you're about 6'5" with obviously world class speed. So I
Mhm.
believe you played some football at Mountain Point as well. Has Kenny
Yes.
Dillingham maybe come knocking and asking around if maybe if you in your spare time you want to help out the football team?
No, no, not yet. I feel like I've kind of thrown my name into the ring. Our strength coach also works with football, so I always tell him if they need another guy, I'm right here. I might not be able to catch the football that well, but I think that's something I can train.
Now, of course, having two parents, who had, distinguished track careers of their own, what's been some of the most valuable pieces of advice, once you kind of were on this track and sprinting path that they've given to you, to help your career?
Yeah, my mother, who was also my high school coach, she always told me that when it's your time, it's your time, and no one can take that from you. And it all starts with your work ethic, and that's kind of been the the phrase that I've really kept close to my heart this whole time, where it's like, people might be in front of me right now, but like once it's my time, and once God, blesses me with the ability to start winning these meets, like no one can take it from me, so I don't got to have any fear in my heart. So that's kind of something that has really helped me through a lot of hard times.
Now, of course, you mentioned your brother being such an instrumental piece of your path, but he made the decision to go to the school down south and become a Wildcat. And of course, you're a standout Sun Devil. What's that? What's the family dynamic like? In terms of being on different sides of the Territorial Cup rivalry.
Yeah, it was interesting. I took a visit down there in high school and realized, as much as I love my brother, I feel like I wanted to create my own legacy, my own path, and I felt like ASU was the place for that. So we have a lot of banter at home. My parents have a little shirt that has a Sparky, and I don't even know their mascot. Well, Wilbur,
Yeah, Wilbur.
and it kind of says like house divided. So they were both very supportive of both of us, and now that he graduated, now he can support ASU since I'm still running.
So of course, you made the decision out, to focus on track, and it's obviously been terrific for you. What are some of the things that you love most about the sport? About being a sprinter.
I love the fact that when I get on the track, it's just me and me. Like no one else has any say in how I perform, and I really love that aspect. That I kind of tune everything out, and for 44 seconds of my life, I just feel like a freedom while running. And also, like at practice, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've fell in love with like the process of like working out and not just focusing on the goal. And when you come to practice, like excited to get better, that makes like your life so much easier. So I just love the freedom about it.
So when you're getting ready for a race and you're down in those moments, just before the starter's pistol goes off, what's like the mental side of running? Obviously, you're very gifted athletically, but what's the mental side? And kind of in those seconds before you're bursting out of the gate.
I just take deep breaths, kind of empty out my mind, and just say all the prayers that I say the night before, like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then I realize that it's not just me running alone, that, I got Jesus, I got my family in the stands who's always supporting. So I kind of just clear my head and think about really my support and not even about the race, because I do all that work at practice. So then I'm just able to run with a clear head, and then I just hit my phases perfectly.
So for the casual fan who just might see people running very fast and world class speeds, but obviously the sport is so technical as well. What are some of the things that you think are maybe the most the casual fans maybe not realize go into putting together these outstanding performances?
It's definitely about setting up your race. You have to be able to rep your strategy and know it like the back of your hand, and that starts with watching film from world class athletes. That starts from watching your own film. And then we have, I've been talking about my phases of my race, and like each phase, 100, 200, 300, 400, there's times that I have to hit within it. And when you think too much, then that kind of messes up your race. So I do it at practice, and that's what me and coach talk about all the time, where I'm able to hit my time for the first 100, then it sets up my second 100, then I'm able to come home, run down a hill, and it kind of just it makes it complete. And like once you start getting that technical to where points of a second matter, you can really like feel or understand if you're, behind or like ahead of your pace while you're running.
So, of course, the NCAA championships are coming up. How are you, currently preparing for a run at a national title?
I'm just doing the same process I've been doing throughout the whole season. Uh, if I had advice for anyone, which I love, I stay off social media, especially for bigger meets, and that kind of lets me just focus on myself. I'm not scrolling, seeing other people, and I'm kind of just taking it day at a day. I'm doing my normal things, normal practices, but we're just gearing up now, running faster paces. So it's been pretty much the same, but just now it's just like an aspect of now I got to execute each and every race.
So, when you look at the NCAA's coming up, is it national title or bust, or what are some other the goals or maybe benchmarks that you want to hit there next month?
The goal is, of course, winning, and I fully believe without a shadow of a doubt that I'm in a perfect position to be able to win NCs. But that's also just a stepping stone for, what I want to do post collegiate. Obviously, make some world teams.
I was going to say, like, what, after you still, have another year of eligibility left at Arizona State, but ultimately down the road in your post ASU career, what are some of the
Mhm.
big goals that you have and the aspirations that you're striving for?
Definitely striving for LA 28. I think I'll be in a perfect opportunity to be able to make the world team there. Uh, I think I'll be like 23 or 24, which is like a perfect age. So that's kind of what I'm gearing up to, each year. And I just want the years prior to that to be experience for LA 28.
Your success, of course, is really bringing a lot of positive attention to Sun Devil track and field. How do you hope that your exploits and this attention maybe can help snowball a little bit and help elevate ASU track and field going forward?
I hope people see my performance and realize that ASU is a school that can get them faster and that we have a great coaching staff here. So I kind of want my story and my experience to, bring other athletes here because ASU is a 400-meter school. I came here because we had a really good 400-meter program while I was in high school. We had Justin Robinson, coming off what he did in high school. And I'm like, that's exactly why I want to come here. It's close to home and we have so many great people. So I kind of also want to be that reason why athletes can come to ASU.
5, 10, 15 years down the road when your time at ASU is long done and hopefully you've gone on to a really successful post ASU career. How do you hope the folks back here in Tempe remember you and when they hear the name Jayden Davis?
I hope they remember me as someone who gave it their all, who was so passionate about this sport and was kind of the right role model, doing it, that I did it the right way and that, ooh, that I just left a good legacy for, high school as well as college. So, you know, throughout the whole, I just want to be remembered as a great athlete.
I'd like to thank Jayden for taking the time to talk with me for this episode. I'd also like to thank Danny Sullivan of ASU Media Relations. Make sure you are subscribed to Speak of the Devils on YouTube and on a podcast platform of your choice for more great episodes all year long. And make sure to follow me on all things social media at BDenny29.